for the Mayor Lindsay. Then he moved back to California and chose to run for Congress. And for 9 terms, he served in the House of Representatives. Now, when you look at his career, it tells you a lot. Because in Congress, he stood, for fiscal responsibility, in favor of the environment, for eliminating poverty, for ethics reform. Maybe you should run for president. A very distinguished career, capped by being chairman of the Budget Committee. Then he moved on to be the director of Office of Management Budget, and where again those values came through. He was promoting a budget that was fiscally responsible, but while serving those who were in need, promoting the environment, and having set us on the course of a balanced budget, he moved over to be the chief of staff to the President Clinton, again where he distinguished himself with both his service and his integrity. You can do your Lexus search. I don't think we'll find anything that taints this man's reputation, because he's always demonstrated immense integrity in every task he's taken on. When he left government, that's what he continued. He went out to his home and Cal State University. He created an institute, the Panetta Institute, and what is it dedicated to? Bringing young people into public service. So I could not be more proud of the opportunity to introduce anyone than I am today to be able to introduce Leon Panetta.
Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you for the kind introduction, and it was a treat to renew a friendship with someone who I work with. He didn't mention I served on the House Administration Committee, as did John Bradamus, and on that committee, oftentimes you face a lot of tough issues related to behavior of members, the election of members, and other things, but I always enjoyed working with, and these were the days when Republicans and Democrats worked together, and normally on the House Administration Committee we had some very good Republicans who worked with the Democrats in trying to advance policy for the House. And Carl was consul there and was one of the people that I had tremendous admiration for. So thank you for the introduction, and thank you for your friendship. I'm honored to be here and participate in this conference called Money, Politics, and Corporate Risk. And I want to thank the Baruch College, the Center for Corporate Responsibility, and also the Wharton School and Sickland School of Business, and all of the other institutions that are hosting this conference. This is very important. It's a very timely conference. And I'm honored to be here because, first of all, always nice to come to New York City. I have a long history with New York City. My parents were immigrants from Italy and came through Ellis Island. Also came back after I left the White House. I served as a member of the board of the New York Stock Exchange. And in that capacity, served as co-chair of a committee on corporate responsibility after the Enron problem, to try to develop rules that ultimately were adopted. Many of them were adopted in Sarbanes-Oxley. So that was a great experience. And I've also had the opportunity, obviously, to work with a lot of members of the New York delegation, going back to the time I served as a legislative assistant in the Senate. I served with a moderate Republican from California, a guy named Tom Kuechel, who had very close relations with Jacob Javits at that time, and worked very closely with him. So I had a long relationship with all of them, and obviously worked with a number of members of the present New York delegation. I should tell you that when I was in the Congress, I lived in a house a couple blocks from the office buildings with Congressman George Miller, Congressman Chuck Schumer, Congressman Marty Russo. There were four of us who lived together. Now, you can't live with Chuck Schumer and not become a New Yorker. Got a lot of very close relationships, and it's nice to be back in the city. I also want to express the fact that I'm honored to be here because I think the work of the center is extremely important. You're trying to raise the ethical climate of corporate America so that it operates on a higher plane. It's a tremendous challenge, but an important challenge. And the discussions you have here with scholars, with members who are leaders in corporations, in business, with politicians, the opportunity that's provided to MBA students to be able to participate in those kinds of discussions. It is extremely important because many of these students will ultimately be the future directors and the future leaders of businesses and corporations in this country. You're discussing, as I said, a very important and relevant issue at an important time. This is an election year, 2008.